we've got to talk Anthony Barela for a little bit here, because what this guy's doing.
Talk about him for an hour.
What this guy is doing is incredible. First off, there were so many people in this event that through 12 holes, I had literally the thought crossed my mind of like, well, hey, you know what? Not everyone's able to keep up a streak like AB's on, because he was even par through 12 holes. Mm-hmm. And there was a lot of other players kind of shredding, and it looked like AB was done. Like not like he was still going to be in the top 10, maybe top 5.
It didn't seem like it was his day.
But things weren't really going his way. It just didn't seem like he
it was
had
going to be Ezra Aderhold's day.
He had no momentum. Yeah, Ezra was playing good. Calvin was playing fine. Ben Callaway was playing great.
Yeah, he was playing
and
great.
So there was enough players that were playing good that I was just like, well, AB literally you can't win them all, so it's okay. Like whatever, we'll see if AB can still get a top 5. Be impressive.
Yeah.
He then proceeded to go 6 under through the last 6, which included a layup for the win on 18 because he had an eagle putt from like 50 some feet, I think it was it hole 14? He had that eagle, 14 on that par 5. So including his layup, he could have went 7 under through 6, but he went 6 under through the last 6 to shoot 6 under for the round and win there.
Yeah.
He has now started at Elite Series and Majors 3 for 5. He's won 3 of the first 5 events. Crazy.
Nobody's supposed to be able to do that anymore. You're not supposed to be able to do that anymore.
Statmando posted, let me find this here. The only other people to do it, players to win 3 of the first 5 MPO major/elite events to start a season. You have Anthony Barela, who just did it, Paul McBeth in 2019, Ricky Wysocki in 2017, Ricky Wysocki in 2016, Paul McBeth in 2015, Paul McBeth in 2014, and Barry Schultz in 2006. That's it. That's the list.
Pretty good company.
So really the only players that ever do it is Anthony Barela, Paul McBeth, Ricky Wysocki, and Barry Schultz.
And keep in mind, it has been 4 years since that last one.
Yeah.
Or 5. Excuse me.
This is the 5th year, yeah.
And the field has gotten twice as good in that time period.
Yeah.
Like, it is so deep right now.
The years before that this has happened, 3 of the first 5, are all the years that people point to as the greatest seasons of all time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You have Paul McBeth 2019, phenomenal season. Paul McBeth 2015, truly the greatest season of all time. Yeah. Paul McBeth 2014 was the beginning of his dominance. The 2016-17, that was the Ricky Wysocki era.
Yeah, and
I think it was it might have been 2016. One of those years was the year where if Ricky and Paul were both at an event, one of them won every time.
Mm-hmm. Well, think about even last year, Calvin won 3 of the first, 7 or 8?
No, so that's what I looked at, okay? Calvin, he already has more Elite Series or major wins than Calvin. When you think of that, one of them was Texas State, which was a silver event. Calvin only won 2 Elites or major. AB's already surpassed Calvin's win total for last year.
That's what I'm saying. And like we were talking when Calvin came out the gate last year, we were talking about his season. Like, this is so ridiculous. Like, how could this happen? And AB is doing more than that. And, you mentioned he did it on a tournament where he was just not really finding anything out there. Went into the day, tied for the lead. The wind made that course extremely challenging. The greens were super tough. Guys were having a lot of trouble controlling the nose angle of their disc, the speed of their disc. And it was just stagnant all day long, but he was able to win at the end of the tournament, just rally the troops, win on a day where he wasn't at his best. And that's really frightening if you're the field, because it's one thing if a guy is just cruising, and then you can kind of tell yourself, well, he's just been playing hot.
No one's touching him.
Well, he's just playing hot lately. That's just how it is. But when he is as cold as ice all day long and then is able to just flip a switch, that's what really good players do, and that's awesome. Terrifying.
Have we heard anything about his this past off season for him? Like, did he change a practice? Like,
I don't know.
Has his practice been different or something?
Has he been on unnamed the podcast we will not name? Has he been on?
I think he has multiple times.
That's what I'm saying. I'd be curious to know, like, if he's what things he's kind of said about his
I have no
preparation
idea.
Because he's always had the talent. He's just
more consistent now.
Well, I think a part of it is just the final piece was learning how to win.
Yeah,
because he's always had this talent. That's why everyone said AB's next up, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we saw him at hole 16 European Open major in his hands.
And his putting has just started to round out. Like, I think last year we noticed him in contention more because his putt had gotten so much better. And now, I mean, you see him inside the circle, you're confident.
This is also
there was a long time where that was not the case.
Is this only his 2nd or his 3rd year fully on tour? Because before he wasn't even fully on tour.
Yeah, I think it's his 3rd.
Yeah.
I think it might be his 3rd. But yeah, he was playing half off, half on.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, he feels like he's had a long career because he started playing when he was like 16, but like he just started touring just a few years ago.
It's very interesting. Like, he was a player who's been in the disc golf spotlight for quite some time and was supposed to be the next up, but we kind of like a few years ago, I think we kind of just decided like, okay, AB is a good player. I think he's going to be a solid player, but he was never, I don't think in many people's mind, he was not like this next Paul Macbeth, like prodigy type player anymore. He was more like, yeah, he's going to be solid. He's really talented. He could win on any given day.
Well, I mean, people always called him mini Macbeth, but I don't think we ever expected.
Early on, we maybe did, but like when he was like really young and winning, he won U.S. Worlds, U.S. Am in the same year. But like I'm saying, our perceptions had kind of settled to the bottom a little bit. But all of a sudden, it's like, what a quick shift in the ecosystem of disc golf, because we had kind of accepted that, Calvin is the guy right now. Gannon is kind of the up and coming star, and all of a sudden, Anthony Barela is like, no,
forget about me.
Right now, he is the face of disc golf. Right now, he is the guy who is unbeatable. Like there's
very much so.
There's nobody that can play him right now.
The final AB stat I wanted to bring up that just is referring to his season, not his thing, is he is having a better start. Not even like you can't really argue it than Kristen Tatar.
Yeah,
an MPO, which is crazy.
That is also huge.
Like,
if you would have told me that AB is going to win 3 out of the first 5, like I'd have thought you're crazy. I mean, he's already front runner for Player of the Year. Like he's already built a case for Player of the Year that is going to be tough to beat.
Yeah,
regardless of what happens.
I mean, having 3 wins when you come to the end of the season, you're going to be in the company of maybe one other guy, possibly 2, but not. It's hard to imagine. Like, the only other guys I could think of is if Calvin got hot or if Gannon Burr continues, because Gannon still came in top 10 this week. But if Gannon continues to be that type of player, like, those guys could get to 3. But beyond that,
it's
you just
tough.
don't see it happening.
It's super tough.
Because even this weekend, there was, every weekend there's a new, Ben Calloway was the guy this weekend. Ezra Aderhold has been the guy the past 2 weekends, where there's a new player that's just like, if it's their weekend, they just might win.
Right.
Which didn't used to happen in disc golf.
Yeah.
Like, that just wasn't really, like, you'd have like 1 or 2 of those a year. Now it's every event.
Yeah,
it's someone who's like,
somebody.
if it's that guy's weekend, he could win.
Heck, it was even kind of Simon Lizotte this week. I mean, Simon wins more frequently than those other guys. Obviously, they haven't won yet, but it was kind of like he was having. There was quite a few guys that were having themselves a weekend. It's just bizarre. It is such a crazy start. I can't believe it.
Yeah,
that's
now
awesome.
It will be interesting because I do like AB's game at Music City, which is this upcoming weekend.
Yeah, he almost won it last year. Like, I mean, because then it's the major right after.
Yeah, but Champions Cup, I don't love his game for. But
he shot some good. Yeah, I mean,
he could go off.
The thing is, he's won so many times now, and he's been in contention at every event.
I'll tell you where I love him.
You can't really hate him anywhere right now.
I'll tell you where I love him at the World Championships.
Yeah.
He could tear.
He would torch Ivy.
He could tear apart Ivy Hill, and like I have seen so many power players do good at New London because it's not really a technical wooded course.
No,
it's like a placement course.
He's hitting lines. Here's the thing: some of these courses that they're playing, we
might just want to sign the check to him right now. Just Anthony Barela, congratulations, world champ.
It would be cool because sometimes World like either goes to the person that you've been expecting for a while, or it goes to just a person that you're like, oh wow, I didn't expect them to be a world champion this year or ever. And but like for him to like be consistent and then just win worlds this year as well, that'd be kind of sick.
I think like a lot of people like to say that the early part of the tour is more of the open courses, and I do think in the sense of left to right off the tee, a lot of the courses have been more forgiving. Like you have a bigger window left right, but there has been a lot of courses that require up and down control, a lot of low ceiling shots, especially when the wind is picked up at some of these events. Like I have seen plenty of accuracy out of AB to think that he can be competitive at Northwoods. Northwoods, though, I think is going to be kind of a crapshoot because 4 rounds at Northwoods is just going to be who keeps their head screwed on straight. Like, guys are just going to get demoralized. So it's not even necessarily going to be about who can just stay hot for 4 rounds because I don't think anybody can stay hot for 4 rounds at Northwoods. It's Northwood, right?
Yeah, everyone just calls it
Northwood. Sorry, I'm gonna be the guy. Northwood. It's Northwood.
I like that.
At Northwood, and so I think that is going to be more of a battle of mental fortitude, and maybe having like 2 rounds that are really hot, and then 2 rounds that are like acceptable. But I do think AB he has shot some hot rounds at that course in the past. I think he's gonna be competitive. I mean, he has to be. Like everybody. He's at every
struggled a lot there last year. I just was looking, but he struggled in a lot of places.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's just like right now that you just don't see. You're not watching him win. You can't win right now at the level that he is winning and be like, Yeah, but he's missing this and this right now.
No.
That's just not. You're not going to win 3 out of 5 and come top 5 in every event or whatever. Like, you have to be playing good all around disc golf. He's scrambling. He's putting. He's good off the tee. He has a good forehand, backhand. That shot he threw on 17 to recover yesterday. And that's the thing, too, like his arm strength. I mean, those par 4s at Jonesboro just were not far enough to overcome him because he could hit a tree 150 feet off the tee and then just launch a 500-foot hyzer and get to the basket. I mean, that is a crazy tool to have.
No, absolutely.